Yo, book nerds, I finished my reread of Catching Fire by Suzanne. I really enjoyed this reread. I did not remember a ton from my first read because I read it like 10-15 years ago. I don't even know exactly. So it's been a while. I remembered like the basics about the arena and I remembered sort of what happens at the end, but most of the details were a blur to me. But I still really enjoyed myself. I really thought it was nice having read the prequels now and rereading this. If you watched my review for The Hunger Games, I said I felt like you should read the prequels before The Hunger Games. I still feel that way. I think it adds another layer to Catching Fire that's just nice to have. Do you need to? No, you'll understand Catching Fire just fine if you don't. But I do feel like the prequels add a lot to this. This book still has some issues that I have had with the other books. There's still a ton of sentence fragments. There's a love triangle. Still not a fan of the love triangle. And there are always naked people. Like, Katniss, the main character, is 17. She's 16 and 17. Like, she has her birthday in this book. Like, she's 16, 17, and she's naked, and there's always other people naked, whether they're adults or minors. Like, it doesn't really matter. This is a YA novel, and it just gives me, like, creepy vibes. Like, why is everyone naked all the time? The story is for a younger audience than myself, and I don't want to read about naked teenagers. Like, it's just weird. But it wasn't all negative. This book does have positives. There's a lot of action. The plot is very interesting. The games in this book are very unique. And you get to go back to a wonderful world that this author has created. Wonderful not being the best word. Like, the world is horrible, but it's a well-created world. So, what's going on in this book? It is the Quarter Quell. It is the 75th Hunger Games, and we find out that because it's a Quarter Quell, there is a special rule which says that tributes this year will be drawn from the victors, the pool of victors for each district. So that means Katniss and Peeta are going back in to the arena. And it's a new arena. It has a lot of surprises, and it's very, very interesting. There is the added layer that Katniss and Peeta have to continue their romance. Everyone thinks they're in love. President Snow pretty much tells Katniss, like, right away that your little stunt with the berries in the last games has caused unrest and you need to fix it or you're dead, pretty much. So she has to convince everyone that she did what she did in the last games because of her love of Peeta, not because of any issue she has with the Capitol. So there's high stakes and it keeps you turning the page. Overall, like I said, I really enjoyed this reread. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. It's very good. I'm going to jump into some spoilers now. So if you don't want to know anything, here's your spoiler alert. Like I said, there is a love triangle still between Peeta and Gale and Katniss, and I'm not here for that. Like, I hate it. Whatever. Who cares? The romance is whatever. I do, like, kind of hate the fact that, like, Katniss feels pushed towards Peeta because of the circumstances. I feel like if she was going to end up with someone, it should be Gale. She has the long-standing friendship with him. They understand each other on a deep level. Meanwhile, you have Peeta, whom she does care for, genuinely, but I feel like it's such a trauma bond that it's not healthy and nothing to base a relationship on. That's my opinion as an adult, like, knowing how to build a relationship on friendship first, which she has with Gale. So that's my opinion. Maybe you disagree. I want to talk a little bit about what the prequels add to this. So I'm going to assume you've read the prequels if you're watching this. So again, spoiler for the prequels as well. But if you read the prequels before this, it adds another layer. Gail mentions in this, before we find out about the quarter quell and stuff, like Gail talks about how he thinks the games are rigged and that the reaping is rigged. And he's right. Like you get to see that in the prequels. You get to see a rigged reaping. So you know he's onto something. We also find out a little bit more about Maisie, one of the tributes in Haymitch's games in Sunrise on the Reaping, and her connection, Maisie's connection to Katniss's mom, and it just adds more depth because we know what happens to Maisie in the games. It just adds more emotion to all of that in this book because you care about Maisie. I just love how intricately woven the prequels are to the books. Collins really went back and made sure she got all the details right. Like whatever she put in here, like it really ties into the prequels. It makes sense. Like she did her homework on her own books. Like she went and found all the little details of everything that she had put in here, all those little seeds she planted, and she fleshed them out in those prequels. And it's really cool. Like I never felt like there was dots that didn't connect. I never felt like there was something that just didn't make sense or that like that the story changed in any way. Like I really, really liked it. And you also in this book, you find out that Haymitch has been lying to Katniss and Peeta and hiding something really huge. I'm not going to explain it right now, but you find out that Haymitch has been lying to them, and it makes sense. Like we know Haymitch can lie because if you've read the prequels, you know he's been colluding with people. He doesn't love the Capitol. He's able to play things for the cameras and lie, and he's good at subterfuge and deception, and like we get to see that side of him. So even though Katniss has never seen that side of him, like it doesn't come as a surprise to the reader, but it does come as a surprise to Katniss. So it really felt like, yes, this is Haymitch, and it makes sense for his character, and you know that because you know his background from the prequels. Overall, I just really enjoyed this, and again, like I think you should read the prequels and then read this because it just adds that extra layer to it. So those are my thoughts on Catching Fire. Drop down in the comments and let me know your thoughts. I enjoyed it. I have started my reread of Mockingjay, the final book in the original trilogy and the final book overall. And I am on chapter 8, which is page 101. So I'm 100 pages in basically. And I'm enjoying this as well. I don't remember much from this one, I'll be honest. So it's all kind of brand new to me again. And once I am done with this reread, I will get this out to you as well. I hope you're having a lovely week, and I will talk to you next Monday. Hit that like button and subscribe. Thanks for talking books with me.